Hey guys, so now that we've talked about parts per million and calculating concentrations in those units, we can now talk about this concept called lethal dose 50 or just LD50. And all the definition for this really is as you see here on the slide, it refers to the amount of a substance that you can administer to a particular population that would be lethal to half or 50% of that population if they ingested that dosage. And so down here in this chart down below, I've got this chart that shows three different chemicals: carbon monoxide, nicotine, and table salt. And what the LD50 dosage would be to humans and rats. And you can kind of compare those dosages between those two organisms. If you take a look at carbon monoxide, the concentration that would be needed to be lethal to 50% of a population of humans would be 4,000 parts per million. Compared to rats, which is only 1,807 parts per million. This kind of makes sense in that humans have a larger body. They would be a little bit more tolerant to carbon monoxide than rats would be, and so rats wouldn't need as much carbon monoxide to be lethal to 50% of the population. If you look at nicotine, though, actually, humans are more sensitive to nicotine than rats are, and so the lethal dose 50 for humans is actually a lower concentration than rats, which is kind of an interesting thing to point out there. And then the last one is even substances that we take into our body on a regular basis, if you take too much of it in, it can still be lethal to you. And so the LD50 for table salt, you can see is quite high in terms of its concentration, 12,357 parts per million. And for rats, it's lots less. But any dosage of a particular concentration of a particular chemical can still be lethal if you take enough of it in. And so there's huge charts for this that show a variety of LD50s for all different types of substances. But the main idea here that you need to know is that the definition of LD50, what is that? And then also that depending on what species you're administering that chemical to, is going to be a different concentration for different species. So shown here in this chart, you can see that humans have a different LD50 for the same chemical compared to rats. And that's all you guys need to know as it relates to this concept. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you in the next video.